Welcome to week 2 of the Crystal Mermaid Refresh, your personal health perspective 12-week lifestyle transformation program. My name is Jessica. I am your facilitator, registered dietitian, holistic nutritionist, mystic, and intuitive light worker, here to share information to help you feel more self-empowered in creating and establishing nourishing lifestyle practices. So welcome to week 2. This week's topic is an introduction to detox and cleansing, a somewhat controversial and very somewhat abused topic, to say honestly. And it is a subject that, it needs to be explored further after you get the basics down in order to understand what is a really safe and healthy way to support your body's ability to remove toxins and unnecessary substances that are in your bloodstream and floating through your organs and need to get out. So basically that's what we're going to be kind of looking at to start with. Cleansing, detox, and we're looking at it from a variety of different standpoints. First, we're going to look at it as, what are the benefits? What is it, essentially? What are the options in terms of cleansing and detox? And then what are the benefits? Why is it something that you might want to explore further for yourself? So I want to start things off with a quote from an four-time Olympic gold medalist. Her name is Olga Korbut, and the quote says, "Don't be afraid if things seem difficult in the beginning. That's only the initial impression. The important thing is not to retreat. You have to master yourself." And with that, I want to bring up this week's mantra. This week's mantra is, I am responsible and respectful of myself first. And when we're talking about the self, we're looking at empowerment. We're looking at creating practices and establishing habits that create the healthiest and, the best version of ourselves that we possibly can be. So it's a little bit of a reminder from last week. Focus on consistency and committing to consistency, not perfection. Creating habits takes time. Breaking habits takes time. So be patient with yourself as we go along this journey. Did you get a chance to complete last week's assignment, the ABCs of me? If you have not done that or haven't watched the video from last week, please check into week 1, committing to consistency, new beginnings, and fresh starts. And the exercise is explained in that video, and I would love to hear your feedback if you did complete the exercise and if you found anything interesting within the ABCs of me. I know I did. So let's talk about the basics of cleansing and detoxing. And now if you would like handouts, just like from last week, if you would like the handouts to go along with the topic, please let me know. You can send me a direct message or you can send me an email, crystalmermaidhealing@gmail.com. And I can send these as a written version of what we're talking about over to you. So basically, when we talk about cleansing and detox, as I mentioned, we are looking at removing unnecessary substances, toxins from the body in order to create more balance within. So internal balance is a goal that we're going for. Homeostasis is a word that describes internal balance, but it's something that is constantly changing in order to be in balance. So when you're thinking if cleanses or detox has ever come across your brain before, why would that be something that you would be interested in? Well, our environment is filled with toxins and substances that do us no benefit as our physical body. So on a regular basis, whether it's, pollution in the air, chemicals from lotions or from hairspray or makeup, chemicals in our soaps, chemicals in our food, that's the major one that we're addressing, chemicals in our water. All of these things often have substances that create toxins in our body or metabolic waste. So our body naturally has a detoxification system. Our kidneys, our liver, having lots of water, making sure we're sleeping well, all of these things promote natural detoxification processes. But our systems do get overloaded. So we can assist our body in removing those unnecessary and unneeded toxins by detoxing ourselves and cleansing ourselves. What does that look like? There is no one right way to cleanse or detox your body, but there are many, many, many wrong, or rather unhealthy ways to do it that actually can create more harm to your body than good. At the end of a detox or a cleanse, at the end of anything, we want to create a better environment internally. We don't want to do things that are going to hurt us more. So a detox or a cleanse looks different for every single person. And I'm not necessarily going to give out any specific instructions because of that. It's a very broad topic, but to enact a detox, it is very personal. So every single person is going to experience something different, and what will be right for their lifestyle is also going to be different. So safe and appropriate detox and cleansing, that's a main focus point of all of this. Safe and appropriate can make it so that it is beneficial for your body in the prevention of disease, in the removal of unnecessary toxins, or things that might be creating havoc within your internal system. There is a large body of scientific evidence. We are a science-based practice here. So there's a large body of evidence that suggests that foods, specific foods, will naturally assist your body in upregulating any issues that you're having. So basically, it's going to assist your body's natural detoxification system in working more effectively and efficiently. Some examples of some popular detox, quote unquote, detox foods would be cabbage, kale, turmeric, lemon, cayenne, green tea. These are all popular foods or beverages that we've heard as, and there is evidence out there to support that these foods do indeed assist your body in naturally removing the toxins that we don't want in there. So natural removal of toxins, we're looking at that aspect, and other potential benefits include improving your bowel movements, decreasing bloating, increasing your energy levels, lowering cholesterol and blood pressure numbers, clearer skin, and a more clear brain, so less brain fog. And why does a cleanse or a detox promote these things? Well, bowel movements, number one, just helps to kind of regulate everything going in and everything coming out. So what goes in must come out, and we want that to happen on a regular basis. So when we're detoxing and cleansing, we can kind of address any blockages or internal issues that might be showing up through our body's bowel movement system, through our intestinal system. So we look at that, and whether that's regulating in a way of creating a regular bowel movement so that you're not feeling constipated, or vice versa. Often you are being very well hydrated during a detox. That's a huge aspect of it that we'll get into, but that's just one area to look at. Decreasing bloating, same reason. If you're getting out things that have been stuck in there for a while, then you have the benefit of no longer feeling bloated from that. You're also regulating how much you're putting in and how much you're taking out. Sometimes we're putting in foods that create bloating and irritation or inflammation in our intestinal tract, and we don't even realize it. So a cleanse helps us to remove any foods that might be creating irritation. And when we do reintroduce certain foods after a cleanse, you sometimes have created a reset or a reboot in your body, and that can allow your body to feel the sensitivities that it's having, because you might be sensitive to certain foods that are creating bloating or other digestive issues and not even realize it because of all the toxins that you do have. And that can basically like create like a buildup, and the buildup is numbing in your body. So the more toxins you have built up in your body, the less able you are to physically identify that something's going wrong inside. A lot of people that I've worked with often think that having stomach pains or bloating or this, that, and the other thing after they eat or whatever is normal. That is never normal. It's never normal to have stomach pains or digestive disorders or issues going on. That's never a normal thing. So, but sometimes when you've had something occur for so long, stomach pains or whatever, you get used to it. And for you, that becomes normal. Doesn't mean that it's healthy. So cleansing and detoxing can help address issues like that, because you have an opportunity to remove that layer of numbness and really start to get in touch with feeling how your intestinal tract and your digestive system is processing different types of foods as you're breaking them down. Along those lines, I want to talk about fat, body fat specifically. Often, the body stores fat as a protective mechanism. Biologically, fat storage was designed to be protection. Our human bodies, when they're under stress, store fat as a response to just inherently believing in its, in our inner most core of a human being, that if you're under stress, then there is risk and there's a potential you need for your life to be threatened, no matter what kind of stress that is. That's how our body responds, and it will store fat. And so now in this day and age, we come forward, thousands of years, and our body still responds the same to stress. However, the stressors are no longer life-threatening in the same way that they were thousands of years ago. In this case, they are, the stress of jobs, school, traffic, the normal just nonsense of everyday civilized life that we live in. That creates stress, but our body will still create fat in response to that stress. That stress is it's creating toxins in our body, and we are so overloaded with toxins that we don't always have the energetic ability internally to handle it, so the fat cells get created. Now, what role are these fat cells playing in our modern life besides just, this threat to our safety or whatever that we naturally have going on? In modern society, fat plays a role as storage. We get so overloaded with toxins internally, medications, like I was saying earlier, our food system, medications, water, the air that we breathe, the things that we're around, shampoos that we use, the lotions we use, the makeup we use, all these different things create toxins in our body a lot of times that are unnecessary. In our body, if we're not running efficiently, we don't know how to handle these things. And so our body says, oh my God, I'm much too busy doing other things, trying to just keep myself running, that I can't deal with this toxin right now. So I'm going to shove it in the closet, and that closet is a fat cell. So a lot of times people will have excess fat storage, and they'll be doing everything right, let's call it, in terms of eating well and exercising, and they just don't understand why they can't get rid of these fat cells. Well, sometimes it is built up fat storage that's toxins, and you need to basically put your body on a reset and release the toxins in order to allow that storage to be broken down. So when we're looking at releasing excess body fat, being non-toxic is incredibly important. So let's get into that. What are different types of detoxes or cleansings? Some of the most popular ones that are out there, the master cleanse, juice cleansing, those are certain types. And like I was saying, there is no one right way to cleanse, but there are many wrong ways that can be harmful to your body. A couple that, just to give you some examples, a few different things, and we're going to go into more detail about all of these in a different video, but Blessed Herbs, for example, is a wonderful organic, sustainably based company here in the United States that creates a variety of different cleanses. They are designed for people who are brand new to cleansing, as well as for people who are more educated or intensely desiring to cleanse. So we have that company. Back in Las Vegas, there's a company called Pressed for Juice. It's a fresh organic juice company, and they do their own version of a juice cleanse. And they provide you with, 6 juices to drink, 3 a day for 2 days. So their cleanse is 2 days long. The Master Cleanse, which is more commonly maybe known as the lemon, cayenne, turmeric, maple syrup cleanse, or lemon, cayenne, and maple syrup cleanse. There is no turmeric specifically in the Master Cleanse, but I have added that before. That ranges anywhere from 10 days to 30 days. I've known people who have tried to do the Master Cleanse for 90 days. It's all an integration into what your lifestyle supports for you, as well as what is safe and healthy and appropriate for you specifically. So that's just a couple of examples. A friend of mine recently finished a cleanse called Renew, which was a 3-day herbal-based capsules, and it was taking one in the morning, one in the evening for the course of 3 days. No specific adjustments to your diet, just kind of to help reset your internal digestive system. So that was something that she acquired just from a store, a local grocery store, and I looked over it and I looked into it, and I was very impressed with the accessibility of that particular product, because it was at a Walmart actually that she got it, and the quality of the product. So while it's not certified organic, they're a small company, and in order, I kind of deduced that in order to remain at a affordable price, because they're a smaller company, they were not really looking to get certified organic and all that, because it's a costly process. So at the end of the day, it's all about the money for the government and for labeling and for products and stuff like that. So you just kind of gotta watch out. But anyways, what works for you is what is the best option. So, and that's very individual. And as I went over, a length of a cleanse can vary. So when you're going through a cleansing process, why would you want to go through the cleansing process? We talked about some of the benefits. And what are you going to experience potentially? Now, everybody is different. So there is no set, this is exactly what everybody's going to experience. Some people feel detoxification and cleansing in a really strong way in terms of the physical symptoms that occur while they're detoxing. Other people experience almost nothing. And it really depends on your body individually and how toxic your body was in the first place. So, we're trying to reboot and we're trying to reset our body so you can move forward towards optimal health. And the intention is not to lose weight, but to lose unnecessary, unused junk that's not helping you. It also can be to help prevent further weight gain, if that's something that is of concern for you. I like cleansing and juicing and detoxing, or cleansing and detoxing through juicing specifically. For myself, I like to do it as a maintenance program. For example, when I was working at an office in the city, I would take 1 day a week and make sure for myself that I just had a liquids day. And why is that? Because that's what worked for me. So 1 day a week, I would just have liquids, smoothies, juices, and clear soups or broths for example, like a miso soup. If I did want to chew on something during that day, I would opt for organic sauerkraut, fresh sauerkraut, or a pickle, giving me the electrolytes. Usually looking for, because that's where I tend to go for my electrolytes, and also crunchiness, and without, it's still raw, and it's giving fermented probiotic benefits as well. So we can talk a little bit more about that on the next video in terms of those specifics, but that's an example of how I would utilize cleansing and detoxing on a regular basis in my lifestyle. I've also done, for example, that Blessed Herbs cleanse. It's they have a 14-day and then they have a 30-day. So in my past couple of years, I have done both, a 14-day Blessed Herb colon cleanse, it's called, and then I've done a full 30-day full body internal cleanse. Now, for example, in that 30-day internal cleanse, there's different levels of extreme that you can do, whether you're just, consuming the base amount of nutrients that you need through liquids and juices and such, or you can be incorporating a full diet, your full normal intake of food, and taking in the colon cleanse at the same time along with the internal supplements. It all has to do with your lifestyle particularly. But there was one, I think it was the tincture that came with the like the lung tincture or something like that, and it has nuts in it. I have a deadly tree nut allergy, so I did not do that particular tincture. So because just in my mind, using the tincture created more stress than benefit. So you have to really individualize. Everything has to be individualized. So that's something that I didn't know before I got the kit, and I still wanted to do it even though I couldn't do that one component. So I tailored it to my specific needs. But anyways, all right, so side effects of cleansing, because this is something just to be aware of. As you're releasing stored toxins, the toxins then get released into your bloodstream, and it's up to your body to remove those toxins through sweating, urination, and bowel movements. So you may experience headaches and body aches and flu-like symptoms sometimes. Rashes can show up. Our skin is our largest organ. So when we're cleansing and detoxing, it can come out through our skin, and that can create rashes. Be aware, that doesn't mean that, there isn't something else potentially underlying going on, but it isn't abnormal. Body odor, we're sweating. So everything that's detoxing is also coming out through our sweat. Keep that in mind. Sometimes people experience insomnia or mood swings. You are detoxing, you are releasing toxins, and your body's trying to get them out. Can mess with your body chemistry, including your brain chemistry. But just know that you're creating a reset and a reboot. So chances are that your chemistry was off in not a beneficial way beforehand, and it's got to reset and get re-regulated. So if you feel a little funny, or you feel like you're having some mood swings when you're doing a cleanse or a detox, totally normal. If that continues after you've completed your cleanse or detox, then something you might want to look into. But I just wanted to put that out there. Diarrhea, constipation, again, we're detoxing, we're trying to get things out, and there's certain toxins that are removed through our urine, certain toxins that are removed through our bowel movements. So having regular bowel movements and sometimes experiencing them in non-regular ways in terms of constipation or diarrhea is not abnormal when you're on a cleanse. You're also changing what you're intaking. So when you change your input, you change your output. But again, these are all things that, I just want you to be prepared if you do decide to look into a cleanse or a detox for yourself, that these are potential side effects. And if you are prepared for them to happen, then it's easier to stay committed to the cleanse or detox, because you know that the discomfort is temporary and it's going to lead to better optimal health in the future, as well as more nourishing practices for your body, because once you've removed toxins, you don't want to put them back in. So let's talk about what you can do just very briefly to minimize your side effects while you're detoxing. Drink water. Number one, hydration, 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 hydration. More water. I can't say it enough. I have really never met any human that is optimally hydrated. And that is because our body is constantly adjusting to what we do. So the minute that you think, oh, I got this, I drink 8 glasses of water a day, they're 8 ounces, I got my 64 ounces. Well, your body goes, okay, 64 is great, now I need 72. Okay, 72 is great, now I need 80. So your body keeps getting used to the amount of water you give it. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't keep giving it more water, because we are 70% water. If we don't have enough water, we do not function at an optimal level. That is period, across the board. And research is, still out on this, but I read an article probably 5 years ago, and I've never read anything more true to my own experiences as this article, which was talking about dehydration being the primary cause of most dis-ease in our physical body. I read this article. It was in Nexus, Nexxus, which is an alternative science magazine, completely substantiated in terms of the credentials of the people who are writing the articles and doing the magazine, but very alternative. And I read this article 5 years ago, I'd say, and since then have just been putting it to the test, and have yet to come across anybody who fails the test in terms of being too hydrated and being optimal, so healthy, or being dehydrated and being healthy, all these different aspects. So before I get off track on that one, hydration is number one for helping to minimize your side effects. Same goes for all day long. So even if you're not detoxing, cleansing, hydration is key. Jumping into a cleanse too quickly. You got to prepare yourself before you do a cleanse. So we're going to do another video, and that'll be coming up next for pre-detox preparation. Essentially, we're going to look into what are some factors that you should be aware of and be preparing your body for before you jump into doing a detox. And it's not a thing you jump into before you walk through the door of doing a detox, because you can set yourself up for failure by jumping in too quickly, releasing. Essentially, your body will start to remove so many toxins so quickly that you'll experience an overload and just be so sick that you won't want. You're just not going to want to keep doing that. Why do you want to make yourself so uncomfortable? So I recommend at least 3 to 5 days of gradually removing foods and beverages. And we'll go into detail about what those things are specifically and some ideas for how you might be able to do that. Caffeine withdrawal. So it's most beneficial to avoid caffeine when you're doing a detox or a cleanse. And that's because it is dehydrating, and it also changes your body chemistry. So if you are used to caffeine on a regular basis and you'd like to eliminate it completely during a detox or a cleanse, you've got to start to prepare yourself for that, or you may end up with headaches and tiredness and other caffeine withdrawal symptoms that are not fun for anybody, you or the people around you. So prior to your cleanse, gradually decreasing your caffeine intake, switching to decaf, stuff like that. And we'll talk more about caffeine and detox and cleansing and health in the next video when we go over pre-detox preparation. So, all right, that's where we're at. And we're just about at the half an hour mark. And I want to kind of stick around a half an hour for each of these weekly videos. Thank you for joining me for week 2 of Refresh, an intro to detox and cleansing. Be sure to stick around because I will have a couple of videos to follow coming up in the next week. Like I said, we're going to talk about some pre-prep for detox, how to get yourself ready so that you're setting yourself up for success with your detox and cleansing. I'm going to get into some more details about different types of cleanses, like different specific types of cleanses. So some of the more popular ones, why people use them and stuff like that, just because I think it's important to kind of learn about those details of why one might be more beneficial in a certain situation than another. And then I'm also going to have our weekly crystal stone video. So you may have seen last week's, I created a stone set to support new beginnings, fresh starts, and committing to consistency. So this week I will have stones for you to support detox and cleansing. And we'll go through all that in a different video, but this is our little supporter this week. This is a green fluorite natural Nevada stone pyramid. So in the pyramid shape, it's amplifying, and fluorite is just an amazing, magical, transformative, and dynamic stone. So we're going to talk about how this stone and a few others support detox. And then I'm going to have another video that's going to go over some alternatives for detoxification on a regular basis. So essentially products and things you can make at home, things that you can do for yourself to feel more empowered in removing the input of toxins into your body on a regular basis, so that something like a detox isn't necessarily as harsh if you do decide to do it, because you'll be less toxic to start with. So, all right. So that's the game plan for this week. Hopefully technology is my friend this week. And as it was not yesterday, I tried uploading a video yesterday for you guys, like for about 6 hours, and it just didn't want to work. So I decided I'd just go live today, this afternoon, and we'd go over the detox and cleansing. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. So thank you so much for joining me. Crystal Mermaid, Refresh, your personal health perspective, 12-week lifestyle transformation program. Step into your light and let your colors shine bright. Aho.